Can Commonwealth citizens with the right to vote naturalize as British citizens? Hello, my dear friends. Svetlana Shlapak, the founder of ukvisaSuccess.com, is here. I'm going to cover in this video two areas which are probably considered to be one of the most challenging areas of UK immigration law, and that is simply because of the historical developments of British nationality law. One thing I can promise, that if you stay with me until the very end of this video, you'll understand the point and you'll understand what I'm talking about. So here's what we are going to cover.
To answer the question of this video, first of all, we need to clarify 3 points. We need to establish who is a Commonwealth citizen, what are the rules for acquiring the right of abode, and what is the naturalization process. Guys, so that you know that if during this video you would like to know more about the naturalization process or the right of abode, you're very welcome to visit these pages, ukvisaSuccess.com/BC, which stands for British Citizenship. And if you request further information, I'll send you an email where I'll be explaining further details about the 3-year route and the 5-year naturalization routes. And with the right of abode is the same. You need to send your request, and further information about this area of law will be with you within the next 60 seconds. So let us begin with defining the Commonwealth citizens. Commonwealth citizens are legal residents of Commonwealth countries. Commonwealth countries and territories formed an entity which is called the Commonwealth of Nations. The Commonwealth of Nations consists of 54 states, and nearly all of them are former British colonies or dependencies of those colonies. The next question, we need to clarify what is the right of abode. The right of abode in the UK is an immigration status. A person with the immigration status is free to live in the UK at any time. When entering the UK, all they need to do is they need to provide their passports or a certificate of entitlement proving that they have a right of abode in the UK. So in other words, a person with the right of abode is not subject to immigration control in the UK. And who has the right of abode? Well, there are only 2 categories of people who have the right of abode, and they are British citizens and Commonwealth citizens who had the right of abode immediately before 1st of January 1983 and who have not since then ceased to be Commonwealth citizens. Let's have a look at the second category in more detail. To keep the rules as simple as possible, let us divide them into smaller parts. Let us start with dividing the Commonwealth citizens with the right of abode into 2 categories, with Commonwealth citizens with the right of abode before 1983 and persons with the right of abode after 1st of January 1983. Commonwealth citizens with the right of abode before 1983. There are 6 categories of Commonwealth citizens who may qualify. The first category is those who were born, adopted or naturalized or registered in the UK. The second one is those who were adopted by a parent who at the time of the child's birth or adoption had the right of abode. And the next 2 categories, number 3 is those ordinary resident in the UK, those who live here on a permanent basis for any continuous period of 5 years, and these residents happened before 31st of December 1982. And the next category is for Commonwealth citizens with a parent or adoptive parent who at the time of adoption was a citizen of UK or colonies by birth in the UK. And the last 2 categories, a female Commonwealth citizens who is or has been married to a British citizen with the right of abode at any time before 31st of December 1982. And the last category, a woman who is a citizen of UK or colonies who is or has been married to a man with the right of abode at any time before 31st of December 1982. Now, moving on to persons with the right of abode on or after 1st of January 1983. It's much easier here because there are only two categories, British citizens and other Commonwealth citizens who had a right of abode on 31st of January 1982 and have not ceased to be Commonwealth citizens at any time since then. With regards to the second category, there are two subcategories and we've already seen them before. The first one is a Commonwealth citizen with a parent or adoptive parent who at the time of the person's birth of adoption was a citizen of the UK and colonies by birth in the UK. And the second subcategory is a female, a Commonwealth citizen who is or has been married to a British citizen with the right of abode at any time before 31st of December 1982. Our next step will be to define the naturalization process. What is naturalization? Well, naturalization is a legal process of acquiring British citizenship by a foreign national, and I've dedicated a number of videos to this particular routes. There are two, the 3-year route and the 5-year route. The 3-year route is when a person is married to a British citizen and they would like to naturalize on this basis, and the 5-year route is for everyone else, for all other categories. Those who follow the 5-year route, those who are not married to a British citizen, will need to meet 10 requirements, and here they are. A person will need to prove that he or she was in the UK at the beginning of the period of 5 years ending with the date of application. The second requirement, that the person was not absent from the UK for more than 450 days in the last 5 years. And the third category is when the person was not absent from the UK for more than 90 days in the last 12 months. And then we have a requirement for the applicant to prove that there were no restrictions imposed on their stay in the UK in the last 12 months. So in other words, they either had indefinite leave to remain or permanent residence. And as we will see later in this video, they may also have the right of abode. And the next category is when a person was not at any time in the last 5 years in breach of the UK immigration laws. Then we have the good character requirements. This is a big one. This is a cause for lots of grief for lots of applicants and the reasons for lots of refusals on the basis of good character requirements. The next one is the person will need to be of sound mind and they will need to have sufficient knowledge of English language, and they will need to have sufficient knowledge about the life in the UK. So in other words, they will need to pass the life in the UK test. But if you already had your ILR, chances are that you already meet these two requirements. And the final one, which is different from the 3-year route, the person will need to prove that they intend to make his principal home in the UK. Now that we've established all the rules and we answered all the necessary questions, we are ready to address the final question. Can Commonwealth citizens with the right of abode naturalize as British citizens? And the answer is yes, they can. However, this person will need to satisfy the requirements for naturalization. If the Commonwealth citizen is not married to a British citizen, they will need to meet the 5-year requirements which we've just discussed. The good news is that Commonwealth citizens with the right of abode already automatically meet 2 requirements, and here they are. So the first one is they were not subject to any restrictions on the period for which they may remain in the UK, and the next one is they would not be in the UK in breach of immigration laws because they have a right to remain here indefinitely. And the rest of the naturalization process is exactly the same as for all other visa nationals wishing to naturalize here under the 5-year route or the 3-year route. And of course, if we have a Commonwealth citizen who is married to a British citizen, then they will need to meet the 3-year route, which is slightly different from the 5-year route. Guys, if you'd like to know more about the 3-year routes and the 5-year naturalization routes, you're very welcome to visit ukvisasuccess.com/BC, which stands for British Citizenship, because those who are subscribed to this list will get personal invitations to free online masterclasses, which I arrange from time to time in order to answer your frequently asked questions regarding this area of law. And also, I would like to invite you to visit this page, which is ukvisasuccess.com/right of Abode. If you submit your request, the information about right of Abode will be with you within the next 60 seconds. And this is it, my friends. This is all we wanted to discuss in today's video. Also, I would like to invite you to visit this page, ukvisasuccess.com/more, where you'll find all the pages which I've created in order to help you understand various areas of UK immigration law. And also, if you wish, you may be getting a newsletter from me on a weekly basis, where I will be updating you in a very short and succinct manner on most recent developments in UK immigration law. And also, the ukvisasuccess.com community receives exclusive invitations to various masterclass and to the podcast, where I answer your most frequently asked questions. Have an amazing week, guys.